we need to address more angles of this tragedy of the California fires, because now we have 5 fires, 4 of which have been contained 0%, are not contained, and they are still spreading. You have to be careful of what you see online, because there are also AI videos of people that doing things for clicks. You have to be careful about that. Okay, so make sure that you check before sharing any videos. Especially there's a video out there. I was about to share it, but it so happens that it was like fire behind the Hollywood sign, and no, it seems that it was fake. The video was fake, so that's why I'm not sharing it. We have to be careful. Donald J. Trump called this called out Gavin Newsom a while ago, and he did again. Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. And what the ultimate price we're talking about? We're talking about the ultimate price. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is to blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, not firefighting planes. A true disaster, and we will address that as well with the mayor. But first, let's talk about Newsom. But he, with what has happened, he might be sued. He might be sued because this is so bad. There's so many people that are really pissed, and powerful people that lost homes of decades, homes that have been there for decades. Cooper, what is the situation with the water? Palisades ran out last night. Newsom throws hands up. Local folks are gonna figure that out. You know something that I always find funny about Newsom is that he always reminds me of that character from American Psycho, the Christian Bale character. Like it's just perfect. It's just perfect. It's like he was born to play that. He was born to play that part. But well, we got Newsom instead. But let's hear it from himself. Let's hear the words from the guy himself. So make sure that you're not looking at an AI or something. Adjust the.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter in this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean,
local folks will have to figure that out. I have nothing to do with this. I am the governor of the state, and maybe the governor of the state. I could give him a 1-hour primer into what systems, or how systems work and systemic issues work. And this is not a local problem. This is a systemic problem of all the state in which you are responsible. And you say, in a very psycho way, local folks have to figure that out. They will have to figure that out. I don't have anything. What are you doing here? It's incredible. It's so bizarre to look at them. Anderson Cooper asking him this question. There are all the ashes and the smoke and the fire at the back. This is so bizarre. And he answered this way. It's so impressive, the level of psychopathy that Newsom can, well, it's not the level of psychopathy. It's psychopathy is not much of a level. It's like the top level. It's an actual psychopath.
They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires.
And And he's always had this shit-eaten grin. He's talking about the, look at this. Look at this. He's talking about the fire. He's literally in front of the fires. And he has this shit-eaten grin, like, oh, okay, this is no different. This is no big deal. We deal with this kind of things all the time, only that we don't deal with this kind of things all the time. So this is, why are you making this such a big thing when it's not? Yes, standing in the fires smiling. That is correct. Standing in the fires smiling. This is the right way to summarize. He is literally standing in the fire. He has been asked a question that he is responsible about. His administration is responsible of this, and he is whatever. It doesn't have to do with me. Local people will need to address this. Local people, local folks will have to address
fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants.
And why does he sound like Emperor Palpatine? Well, Emperor Palpatine is Soros, right? I mess up with my memes. Why does? Maybe he's he's actually channeling the Christian Bale, but not the Christian Bale of American Psycho, but Batman Begins, and that's why he's talking about. He's speaking like this. He's speaking like that. I mean, those heights are typical for two.
Are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
Yeah, it's the local. We're about to talk about the local. Oh, this was filmed in a studio. Thank you for. That's what I thought, Mads, that this could have filmed in a studio. But if this is a green screen, it's a very good green screen, because they even corrected the. If this is a green screen, which, well, I have my doubts about this. It's a very good green screen. It's an extremely green. And why, if this is a green screen, if this is a studio, why is Anderson Cooper all decked out in this? This is no. I have my doubts, but that is the least of our observations about this. Donald Trump just ended Gavin Newsom's political career for good. What did Donald Trump said himself? Let me see. Do we have captions in here? You know that there's one thread, by the way, from before Trump was banned on Twitter, when he detailed what had to be done in California about the fires, what had to be done in California about the water, and he also said that on the Joe Rogan interview. You know, the Joe Rogan interview was barely days before the elections on November 5. And he made sure to address the issues in California. And of course, he had to address those issues, but being California so huge state. Let's see what he said about news.
Do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad, because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water.
To be fair, this is the first time I ever hear of something called a smelt, a fish called a smelt. I have no idea what a smelt is.
No water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy.
It's an actual tragedy. As many people, I was telling you, that lost their homes. We're going to talk about that in a minute when we talk about the mayor. But there's also this, as Bill Essayli says, for everyone saying this is not a time for blame, this is exactly the moment for the people who have been responsible for the mismanagement of California's fire policies be held accountable. Our governor has been obsessed with holding a special session to Trump-proof California when he should be focused on fireproofing our communities. Here are a few hard facts about the Democrat-run state's failures to address fire prevention. This is from Bill ACTUALLY. Just going to read a couple of those. In the 1950s, the average timber harvest in California was about 6 billion board feet per year. Today, that number has dropped to 1.5 billion board feet per year. What does it mean? That you use the trees for timber. If you don't use the trees for timber, then you will have to way too many trees. It's important. Oh wait, you need the trees for oxygen. You need the trees for well. Have you seen Los Angeles air? Have you been in Los Angeles like in the past 30 years? Has that worked? No. Well, this is a sensible approach. You need to. Maybe you would say that okay, the electric cars have helped clear up the air a bit. That's true. But then you have a problem that if you have too many trees and those you have a very dry season and you have a drought and you have very strong winds, then you have a real hazard in your hands. California Environmental Quality Act and other regulatory policies limit the ability of local government and fire management services to clear dead trees and vegetation. And dead trees and vegetation are, of course, dry. And when they catch fire, well, and it can be a real tragedy. Other legislation, including SB 1003, would have provided exemptions for utility undergrounding projects and power lines. People are without power. People are without power because of this. California has prioritized suppression-only strategies and failed to remove accumulated vegetation, leading to denser forests with increased fuel loads. Our forests have become tinderboxes, leading to devastating outcomes when a fire starts. Bottom line, many of the wildfires California experienced could have been prevented or significantly mitigated with better management policies and funding. This is the time for accountability and, more importantly, change in how we approach fire policy. In this case, well, Donald Trump is right. Gavin Newsom should be fired. Nice. Sorry, that joke. Well, it fits. It still fits. Don't look at me that way. Many of the rejected proposals were brought by Republicans, and I suspect they were rejected for that reason. There's only one political party to blame for California's failures. Again, as usual, I see you are lighting up in the comments, and I would like to know, what is your opinion on this? Fire today. Yeah, fire today. Here's the live chat.